Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, we're kind of going to follow Jennifer Lopez little makeup. Jennifer Lopez Guide to Glowing Skin and Face Contour. We're kind of just going to follow what she does and see if Jennifer Lopez knows what she's talking about when it comes to makeup. I've actually kind of wanted to try out this method of applying your makeup. They call it the one base makeup because you basically do your contouring before you go in with your foundation and blend it all out. So yeah, I figured this was the perfect way to do it because I feel like this video is kind of getting a lot of hype. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's get started. This is my first time doing one of these, like I follow another video. It could be, I don't remember. So I'm basically only going to show parts that I'm actually going to do because she did go into like her skincare routine and the prep, although I do feel that is very important, but it varies from person to person. So I already did all that. My face has been washed. I did my skincare. I did eye cream. I did a serum. I think it was a hyaluronic acid serum. I put in my SPF. And then I did also already go into my primers. She did not use primers, but I like to use primers. So that's why I kind of skipped that. I have a sample here of the B30 CC serum. It's kind of glowy. And since she's doing a glowy like type of look, that's why I used that. The Niacinamide balm for my T-zone, and then this Makeup Forever Hydra Boost primer for the perimeters of my face, which also leaves my skin kind of glowy. So let's go into this clip where she tells you she's going to start her makeup.
Alright, let's start the makeup look. I've never shared this with anybody. I just kind of do it naturally. So you're just gonna go with the flow here. The first thing I do is I do a little bit of concealer. Anywhere that you have a little bit, you see how this is a little darker than here, so I just put a little bit in there.
Okay, she starts with concealer. She did not say what concealer she used. Maybe it's a product she's working on. And I tried to see if I can tell which one it is, but I cannot just from the cap. Going to jump into my Dominique Cosmetics. This is in the shade Whipped Coffee. And I feel like she adds more concealer than I normally do. So I'm going to add it where I add my concealer, which is normally right in here. And I'll add a tiny bit here. Sometimes I do. And then she kind of just blends it out. The brush she uses has more of like your typical concealer brush that people would use back in the days, but this is the kind of brush that I use. I prefer a fluffy one so that the coverage is nice and light. This is the BK Beauty 110. It's just what I prefer, you know? Okay, now we are moving on and it looks like contour is next.
Contour. And I take some of these darker colors in here and mix them. I don't feel like I need to just use one. A little bit above my cheekbone.
So she is using the Bobbi Brown, it's like a foundation, concealer, contour kind of palette. I don't own a palette like that. I'm not like an active makeup artist and I don't see the point of me owning something that big. So I'm just going to use a contour shade and a bronzing shade and mix them together.
Before I used to go right here in the cheekbone, but now I realize that if I do it a little bit above, it lifts the face a little more.
And yes, I also used to go right on my cheekbone, but now I actually go a tiny bit higher because once you blend it out, it ends up coming down. So completely agree with that. But here, let me apply before I keep playing in this video. I'm going to jump into the Westman Atelier Cream Contour Bronzer, whatever you want to call this. This is in the shade Biscuit. It's more of a contour for me than it is a bronzer. Unfortunately, my hair isn't nice and slicked back like hers is. Okay, now I'm going to jump in to the Chanel Le Beige Cream. This is a bronzer and this is in the shade medium. She didn't say what brush she used, but if you just use like a small little precision brush, you should be able to make it work. So I'm going to put this on top of that. It's all gonna end up blended out together, so do not be scared. And also she's going to do foundation, so she goes all the way down here. I don't.
But now I realize that if I do it a little bit above, it lifts the face a little more.
She goes all over for forehead, but I don't. I have small forehead, so.
He's like, you can always wash it off. I go down here. I call this the light bulb. So we darken that so it doesn't light up. Like, look at this chin.
Okay, that's what I'm looking like, and I'm a little scared.
No. Then I take a thinner brush like this with some of the lighter colors.
She contours her nose. I don't. So I'm just going to pinch this and maybe put a tiny bit down here.
Which was an old Kevin trick. I take some of the concealer. This is a Touche Eclats concealer, which I really like. Great little pen. And then I brighten a little more there.
So she's brightening under her eyes. I'm not going to do that because I don't like my eyes to look brighter underneath. I'm okay with what I have so far. So I'll wait until she jumps into... Okay, and it looks like she's also contouring around her lips.
Now, this is not supposed to be lip liner. This goes around the mouth. And if you blend it right, it'll cause just a tiny bit of a shadow that makes your lips look a little bit poutier. Then I take my Chanel Vita Lumiere. I've used this for years as well.
Okay, I'm going to use this little brush, and I dipped into the Westman Atelier. And I'm just going to put that around the lips. I know it looks a little bit dirty, but I think she put a lot more than I'm putting on, but I'm scared for it to look muddy. So I think it'll get fixed once we do the foundation. And it sounds like she's using a Chanel foundation. I think the one she's using is my favorite one. That's like my #1 favorite foundation, and that has not changed for a while. Okay, so I'm going to jump in to the Makeup by Mario. And I squirted some on the back of my hand. It's what's in my rotation right now. And she's using a stippling brush. She calls it a foundation stippling brush. This one's from Sigma, is the Duro Fiber F50. I do also have this other Sigma, which is a contour blush, F53, but this one's a little bit more like angled. This is more of the shape that she's using. Okay, so she's dipped the brush in the foundation and she's blending. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm going to... It looks like she just blends it. I've never done this and I'm scared. A tiny bit. I feel like everything's just going to like blend together and there's going to be like no contrast. I don't know. I mean, it could just be me. overreacting. I am mainly focusing on like where there's no product, so I can make sure and get that first. Cause I don't think she goes at all into like powder bronzer. I don't know. I haven't watched the whole video through. Okay, so she does go in with a lighter foundation, number 20 with the Chanel. So I'm going to jump into this Bobby Brown in the shade Beige. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit because I already feel like my face looks very, very makeup-y. And I'm going to
I take the larger foundation brush one more time and I just kind of go over everything again just to blend it all in, and then start going up and down the nose. As you can see, I'm already starting to look glowing.
She did grab the brush that she did for the contour and kind of touched it up a tiny bit, which I feel like I do need to do because I feel like it kind of, like I said, one of my fears of doing my makeup this way is that I feel like everything is just going to blend in together. Which I feel like it kind of did, so maybe I did it wrong. I don't know. Maybe I need to practice this method, but so far it looks good. The only thing I am not liking is that if I look in the mirror, very makeup-y. Like, you could tell I'm wearing makeup. Okay, now it looks like she's going to eyeshadow and she didn't put on any primer or anything. I don't see her use powder and I have a feeling she's probably not going to use powder. So I went ahead and set my under eyes already because I need to set these bad boys. So let's start. Let's see. She has a Tom Ford palette. And it looks like she used the darkest shade in the palette. The one she has is different from this one. She didn't even say which one. Okay, so this is the BK Beauty 204, and I'm going to use this. Oh wow, I might have picked up a little bit too much.
I take the lighter color here. I feel like Bob Ross. Who's that guy who does the painting? Bob Ross.
And she goes like everywhere.
And then I take a little bit of the dark if I wanted to just kind of accent a little bit. I'll take a little bit of this color over here, which has a little bit of kind of like a luminescence in it, and go along the edge of what I did. So it
By the way, this is edited, her video, so this is not real time. This is not how quick she's doing this. You can tell it's edited, and also you can tell there's a filter, and she's either wearing lash extensions or fake lashes. My guess is lash extensions because when she's putting the eyeshadow, you can see that she's moving them. Okay, and then she took a fluffy brush, and I'm going to jump into this one. The one she jumped into is a tiny bit darker than this, and you could tell that she put it in the crease, brought it in a tiny bit right here into the brows. She hasn't done anything with her brow yet. I'm mixing in a tiny bit of the dark because this light one in this palette is not as dark as I wish it looked on me. And she doesn't do too much blending. I'm gonna bring it on her too. That's not what she did. And she did say she took by the way, she's not telling you any brushes that she's using, but it looks like she's using the same brush for this. Probably should have gotten a palette that has brown in it. I'm gonna wipe it, and then I'm going to jump into the lightest one and just kind of blend the edges out. Okay, this is probably as close as I'm going to get. The palette I was using was a tiny bit more on like the cool toned charcoal-y side. So I did jump in a tiny bit into the Makeup by Mario Master Matte palette. And it looks like she's going into... Okay, and it looks like she's going into cream blush.
I take a little bit of this peach one. This one I used on my last movie that I just did. This brand is Beauty Blender, and this one is Peach.
I have
So
that
I take
blush,
a little bit again with my foundation brush.
but I didn't take it out. So she's using her foundation brush. I'm gonna use the Sigma F53, which is like a stippling blush brush. She uses the same brush that she used for the foundation, but in case I go back to just kind of touch up, I don't want any blush on there, you know? And I do have that Beauty Blender cream blush, and I bet you anything after this video, everybody's going to want to go and buy that blush. Oh yeah, I'm using the Westman Atelier, and this is in Bichette. Yeah, I don't think she's going to use any powder. I use powder. If you've been here, you know I use powder. Okay, blush is on, and I accidentally started putting some on my nose. She did not put any in her nose, or on her nose, I should say. Okay, and now it looks like she's going to jump in to some highlight. I don't have the one she has, so I'm going to use a cream one from Lilah B. She talks about her nail here, but she puts some down her nose. I don't do highlight down my nose. I only do here, but she does it. And like, she's very precise with her placement. Like, it's like a line going down. And she puts under her brow, which she hasn't done anything with her brows. Oh. She's reinforcing the nose contour, which we're not gonna do because I don't even contour my nose ever, if really. But we do just a tiny bit of highlight. I didn't use a small brush because I don't need the line. She hasn't done absolutely anything with her eyebrows, so I don't know if she did her eyebrows before this video. If she does nothing with her eyebrows by the end of this, I'm gonna go off camera and do it. Okay, looks like next thing she's going into is lip liner, and I don't know which shade exactly she's using, but she is using a Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil. I have the shade here, 604 Up and Down Tan. I'm gonna do her trick.
This is a Makeup Forever pencil. I'm obsessed. It's my fave. And then do the same thing. A little line right here.
That looks horrible. I don't like her trick. Okay, next she's doing lip gloss. I just did my own thing with the lips and the lip liner. Her trick did not work on my lips. See, that's the thing with tricks. It doesn't work on everybody. So yeah. I don't have the Fenty lip gloss.
Now, if I feel like the rest of my face is a little pale, because sometimes it's darker and sometimes
Natasha Denona.
I'll take the lighter pink one.
My lips aren't as pouty as hers. This is the shade Natasha from my Dream Palette collection. Okay, next she does pull out eyebrow pencil. Looks like she only fills in
this eyebrow kind of stops shorter than the other one, so I just bring that out a bit.
Tiny bit. So I'm going to try and just fill in where I need. I'm pretty sure she took a little bit longer with her eyebrows than they actually edited onto the video. Unless she actually did her eyebrows before she started recording. Like I'm telling you, her eyebrows looked perfect. But then again, there is a filter on the video and you can tell. I hated that they do that. I mean, this should show the imperfections, you know? Okay, and it looks like next couple of things is powder. So she just go into powder, but very minimal. Not typically what I apply as far as powder goes. I already powdered my under eye. I'm going to go into a fluffy brush, even though she uses a more precise brush.
And then, to finish it off, I take the finishing touch, Makeup Forever.
She has the translucent one.
This is the most important.
And mascara.
I can do a 5-minute version of this for you guys one day. But maybe I'll save that for when I come out with my makeup line.
Her own makeup line, huh? I hate applying powder after I do my lips because lip gloss gets onto my brush and that's annoying. So it looks like she only put powder in the middle, her T-zone. But I'm gonna put it all around. We got it. And the face is looking glowy, but I think it's because of the foundation, the Makeup by Mario foundation. Okay, and mascara, she did go into mascara. She didn't say which one. And honestly, it was mainly the lower lashes that I saw her put some on because like I said, it looks like she has fake lashes on. And not like the strip, like the extensions. But I'm going to jump into this MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. Even though like the wand is small on this one, I actually really do enjoy this mascara on my top lashes. I feel it does a really good job with my lashes. I think I'm going to leave my lower lashes bare. Okay, and I think that is it. Yeah. That's it. She did go into a tiny bit of like skin prep, like lotion on your chest and, you know, self-promoting, which every celebrity who has a brand does that during, is it from Vogue? Yeah, these Vogue, like especially if they have products out there. But yeah, okay, so here is the finished look. Do I look like Jennifer Lopez? I'm still Jenni from the block. No, I don't. The eyes are not anywhere near to what she actually did just because the tones are different. Okay, so now what do I think? I feel like this method, I would have to play around with it and perfect it for me personally, because just looking at it right now in the mirror up close, I feel like it looks a tiny bit too makeup-y. Even though it's only supposed to be a one base layer makeup, I feel like it looks more makeup-y than I wish it did. So I would definitely have to practice this method of application and perfect it to my personal liking. The eyes, she went very simple, which is perfect for day to day. Same with the lips, lip liner and lip gloss, perfect for every day. Blush, and only cream blush. She did mention that she loves cream blushes, and especially when you get older. Don't be afraid to use powdered blush just because you're older. I feel like if you layer, like say you do a cream blush first and then just kind of veil it with a powder blush, you should be okay. It won't look dry on you. So don't be afraid to use powder blush just because you're older. Probably more of a sheeny kind of formula would probably look better, I feel like, than like a super matte powder. And then she did end up powdering at the end, but she used very minimal powder. I'm not there yet. I still need a tiny bit more powder, maybe in another 10 years. How old is JLo? She's in her 40s, right? Yeah, so she's at least 10 years older than I am, so I can completely understand why she used such a small amount of powder. But yeah, like I feel like my makeup looks cute. Is it my absolute favorite? No. But it was fun following this video. It was fun seeing her share some of her tips and tricks. I do dislike the fact that Vogue puts that filter on the video and that it looks like she has makeup right off the bat. I don't know if she does, that's just how it looks. So I feel like if they actually did it raw to where there's no filter over the lens or when they're editing, we would feel not as bad as we do when we look in the mirror first thing in the morning. All right, well, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried this method where you do your contour first and then you blend it out with your foundation. I would love to know. And if you do and you love it, what is the trick for it to not look heavy? And also, like, do you think that this is actually their makeup routine when you watch these videos, or if it's all just for the show and they were given a script? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm curious. Well, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big ol' thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, my lovelies, I will see you on the next video. Bye.